Welcome back. This is Free as Above. I'm Dustin, and this is vlog number 15. It's always good to start with number 1 and work your way through. They're short videos, so you can get a concept of what I'm talking about in the later vlogs. As I go through, I'm attempting to get more clear and be more precise in these topics, as this information is occult information, meaning it's hidden from the eye. Occult doesn't mean bad or good. It's just a concept of information that's not well known. A way of understanding that phenomenon is described in 2 words called exoteric or esoteric. Exoteric means for the mainstream. About 97% of the population knows the exoteric information. Esoteric information is more hidden and reserved for smaller groups of people. That's the difference. This information is esoteric information or occult information. Occult information is the deep study of this realm around us and the laws of nature. And once we understand those laws of nature, then you can use that tool for light or for dark. If you don't understand that information and you stay in the exoteric, you're going to be clowned and duped over and over and over, because the folks that understand this information and use it for dark purposes are very good at deception, obfuscation, and exploiting our psychology as a species. They're very well trained and very dedicated. The good news is proper education in occult sciences, esoteric sciences is another way of saying it, because science is studying observable facts in nature, gaining this information, and then using that tool for good, for moral education, for proper alignment to nature. Because nature is created to build organization and expansion, as we align our actions to the laws of nature, we will expand and be free, which diminishes and expels the dark energy. So this is what this channel is about, is proper education in occult sciences. The biggest cornerstone, as I've talked about in my vlogs, the biggest cornerstone is understanding laws of nature, and the specific one is called natural law. It was more articulated and put together by Mark Passio's work and his work on natural law, amongst all the other things that his research has shown. Now, with that information out there, we can understand that natural law is a law of nature. Nature in itself comes from the word netur in ancient Egyptian language, and netur means God. If you break it down and follow that trail, it's the laws of God, the laws of the Creator is what natural law means. There are other laws of nature, as we all know. We didn't create the laws. They're here before we got here, and they will be here if our species is not here. They'll still remain on this planet. The laws of thermodynamics, which governs energy, the transition of energy, and what states energy goes into. The laws of gravity, which governs the mass of objects. These things are built in. Men and women did not create them. They're built into nature. So same with natural law. Natural law governs human behavior, and that's built into nature. We would also call it consequentialism or karma. It's that same concept. It's an observable law in nature that if one takes one action versus one takes another action, there's always an outcome that happens based on that action, the consequence. Natural law, then, is immutable laws built into nature that are non-man-made, that govern human behavior. And since we have free will, we can choose whatever we want to do on this planet. We can choose to do something very evil, which is stealing the 7 properties, or we can choose to do anything other than that, which is our right, as I talked about before. Whatever choice we take, we are bound by natural law. We are bound by it. We cannot escape it. Therefore, if we produce more evil by stealing, which is violence, that produces a society with more evil in it and more suffering. If we get educated in this law and we understand that we have free will to make a choice that does not initiate harm by stealing sentient beings' property, then we move into freedom and abundance and expansion. The more we follow and align with natural law, the more free we'll be. The more we do not align in our free will, the more suffering will happen and the more enslaved we will become. I hope that helps clarify natural law and that concept, and then I will see you in the next one.